The Fever re-signed our good, close personal friend, Sophie Cunningham, to a 1-year contract. Let's go.
It was close. It was close.
Can I be nosy right off the jump? Given the changes in structure and money and all of that over the last few weeks, like, was the contract better than you thought it would?
Look at that face.
That face right there tells you everything you need to know about the new WNBA contract reality. Sophie Cunningham just signed with the Indiana Fever, and she is not happy about the money. Look at that expression when they ask about her deal. That's not the face of someone who got what they expected. That's disappointment barely concealed behind a professional smile. So what happened? Why is a player who just joined one of the league's hottest teams looking like she got shortchanged?
Look at the face. You heard her say it was close. It was close. It seems like she was this close to going elsewhere, and the Indiana Fever only gave her a 1-year deal. I believe, just like with Kelsey Mitchell, this will be the last year you see Sophie Cunningham in an Indiana Fever uniform. Look at the face she made. She said she's not happy with what she got. She thought she was going to get more. She got 600-some thousand. Lexi got more than her. It's a lot of people that got more than her. We seen people get $1 million deals that pretty much had the same production as her. So she was
$600,000. That's what Sophie Cunningham got on a 1-year deal with the Indiana Fever. Now on paper, that sounds pretty good, right? But here's the context that makes this sting. Lexi Hull got more than Sophie. Players with similar production numbers are getting $1 million contracts. And Sophie knows it. She came off an injury, sure, but she's a proven three-point threat who fits perfectly into what the Fever need around Caitlin Clark. The market just didn't value her the way she valued herself. This is the harsh reality of the new CBA. Yes, there's more money in the league now. Yes, the salary cap went up. But that doesn't mean every player gets rich. It means the market decides your worth. And sometimes the market says you're not worth what you think you are.
Sorry.
No, it's fine, because it's tough because I came off an injury and I haven't been in front of any teams. I had a lot going on this offseason. And I was fully cleared. They had all the doctors. They had the numbers and everything. But if you don't get in front of these people, then it's like, hey, are you actually good? And so that, I'm not even gonna lie to you, that was a little kind of frustrating because I'm someone who I kind of shoot it straight, where if I wasn't feeling good or I was hesitant, I think I would have said something and been honest, because I'm just in the point in my career where I just want to win. I just want to win.
Yeah, but Sophie, it's a lot of money on the line. Everybody, you may have been honest if you were still hurt. Everybody wasn't going to be completely honest.
And here's where it gets interesting. Sophie admits she was this close to going elsewhere. The Fever only gave her a 1-year deal, which tells you everything about their commitment level. This isn't a "we're building around you" contract. This is a prove it deal. They're saying, show us you're healthy, show us you can contribute to a championship run, and then we'll talk about real money. But notice what she says about her injury situation. She's frustrated because teams couldn't evaluate her properly. She hadn't been in front of organizations. She's claiming she's healthy, but teams are skeptical. And you know what? They should be. Because we've seen this movie before. Dearica Hamby got traded while dealing with pregnancy complications. Brittany Griner came back from Russia and had to prove herself all over again. The WNBA doesn't give out money based on potential anymore. You have to show receipts.
It's okay. We seen Dejanay Carrington got traded, got a deal. She's getting searched. She's not even ready. It's a lot, and not saying that she did not let them know, because from my information that I have, the Chicago Sky knew about Dejanay's injury. But my point is, there are people out there who would have said, I'm good, knowing they wasn't, just so they could collect the bag. So you can't really knock the owners for that. But before I finish playing it, Sophie Cunningham, this is not just for Sophie, this is for all players out there. Always think, I could be Natasha Cloud. Natasha Cloud would get a world to have your $600,000 contract right now. She's sitting over there twirling her thumbs. Every time her phone go off, it could be a damn Twitter. It could be a Instagram alert. She hoping it's a team. You could be Natasha Cloud. So everybody just be grateful for what they are getting, if you know what I mean.
Now let's talk about the elephant in the room that Sophie just casually dropped. She says she would have been honest about her health because she just wants to win. But would everyone be that honest when millions of dollars are on the line? She's taking a subtle shot here, and we need to acknowledge it. Look at DeJohnai Carrington. She got traded to Chicago, secured her bag, and now we're hearing she's not even ready to play. The Chicago Sky knew about her injury, but the point stands. There are players in this league who would absolutely hide injury concerns to secure a contract. Sophie's basically saying, I'm not like that, which is admirable. but it also explains why she's sitting on a one-year $600,000 deal instead of a multi-year $1 million contract. The owners aren't stupid. They've been burned before. They're protecting themselves. And players like Sophie who play it straight end up paying the price for the ones who don't.
I think it kind of lit a fire under my ass even more. At the end of the day, like, I'm coming back from a major, it was MCL. Like,
Totally.
You know what I mean? And so,
totally.
I feel good. I'm shooting the ball well. I'm mentally in a great spot.
All right, so that was Sophie on her situation in terms of her health and the contract situation. She wanted more, guys. She wanted more. Now, let's take a listen as she addressed, a couple things. Caitlin Clark, Raven Johnson, and then we are going to get to what DeWanna Bonner had to say about this dating situation within the WNBA. It's a lot going on.
Yeah, I know a big name was Raven Johnson. She was with South Carolina. And sometimes for me, I'm just not really good at knowing, like, if people's game are, like, if it's going to translate well.
But here's what should terrify Fever fans about this contract situation. Sophie Cunningham just said this lit a fire under her. She's using this as motivation. That's great for next season. But what happens after that 1 year is up? She's already made it clear she felt undervalued. She's already shown us the face of someone who's disappointed. You think she's re-signing in Indiana if another team offers her real money? This is the exact same situation the Fever are in with Kelsey Mitchell. Another 1 year deal. Another player who could walk. The Fever are betting on themselves to win now, hoping that a championship run convinces these players to stay. But if they don't win it all, if they fall short in the playoffs again, Sophie Cunningham is gone. And unlike Kelsey Mitchell, who has deep ties to the organization, Sophie has no loyalty to Indianapolis. She's a mercenary on a prove-it deal.
Get the green light right away and you just get to go and do your thing. I mean, I had Taurasi, and so it took me like 3 or 4 years. You know what I mean? And so like sometimes it tests your character, your perseverance, it tests everything. Sport tests everything. But Raven Johnson is a freaking dog. We had our first day of training camp, and I just like love her. Like I think she's going to be fantastic, great defensive player, just a really sweet girl and a great teammate so far. So like I'm a big.
Now let's shift to what actually matters for Fever fans. How does this team look heading into the season? Sophie gave us some interesting intel here about Raven Johnson, the rookie from South Carolina. She calls her a dog on defense and says she loves her energy. That's significant because Raven Johnson is not coming in as a scorer. She's not going to put up 15 points a game. Her value is entirely on the defensive end and as a facilitator. The question is whether that translates to the WNBA level. College defense and professional defense are completely different games. The physicality, the speed, the veteran moves, it's a massive adjustment. Sophie even admits she's not always great at predicting whose game will translate. Some players dominate in college and disappear in the pros. Others take 3 or 4 years to figure it out.
Big fan.
Okay, that's good. That's good to know. That's good to know. Look, Raven Johnson is on the team. I'm going to be rooting for her because she is a part of Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever. I just don't want to see no foolishness. I don't want to see no foolishness. Let's hoop.
Big fan.
When a rookie comes in, do you like when a rookie is outspoken and
especially people to be themselves? So I think when you come into a new team, especially like, the jump from high school to college is completely different. College to pros is also completely different. And so as a rookie, depending on like kind of who you are and what you bring to the table, it's best to be a sponge. But like if you're vocal, still be vocal, but also I think it's best also to like stay in your lane, like do what you do best. And if that's like defense and freaking assist, then go all in on that. You know what I mean? Like don't be anything that you're not. And it's nerve-wracking as a rookie. Training camp is nerve-wracking, and our rookies have done really well. And so I think we have kind of like a unique group, but today was like actually very surprising. Like
This is where Sophie drops some wisdom that every rookie needs to hear. She says the best thing a rookie can do is stay in their lane. Do what you do best. If you're a defender, defend. If you're a facilitator, facilitate. Don't try to be something you're not just because you're nervous or trying to impress people. That's directly applicable to Raven Johnson. She's not Caitlin Clark. She's not going to come in and run the offense. Her job is to lock down opposing guards, push the pace in transition, and make the simple pass. If she tries to do more than that, she'll hurt the team. But if she embraces her role, she could be exactly what the Fever need. A defensive pest who can spell Caitlin and give them a different look. Sophie also mentioned the team is going to be fast and can shoot the ball. That's the blueprint for building around Caitlin Clark. Surround her with shooters, push the pace, and let her create. If Raven Johnson can defend and facilitate in that system, she'll carve out a role. But the moment she tries to be more than what she is, The moment she forces shots or makes mistakes trying to do too much, she'll find herself on the bench.
Bonner, okay? Well, now we all know how DeWanna Bonner hustled the Indiana Fever last season. She ran off with the bag, was receiving paychecks, and all while refusing to show up to work, okay? And that was a big problem for a lot of people, okay? Myself included. I don't think that was cool at all, okay? Now, she spoke about dating within the WNBA, within being on the same team. You know, obviously her and Alyssa Thomas married, all of this stuff, and everything that's been going on with this Paige Bueckers AZ Fudd situation that's been taking over headlines. Let's take a listen to what she had to say about it.
And you've been there for a lot of players. Lately in the spotlight, teammate relationships has been in the spotlight with AZ Fudd being drafted and Paige Bueckers being the wings. Have you ever given advice to younger players about navigating that? And how have you gone about that?
Yeah, no, I feel like my personal relationship is my personal relationship. AT and I've been doing this for a long time, and I feel like we know how to handle things, handle business when it's business, and we how to handle our relationship. Obviously, it works.
Now we need to address the other storyline that came out of this interview. DeWanna Bonner talking about dating teammates in the WNBA. This is relevant because of the Paige Bueckers and AZ Fudd situation that's been dominating headlines, and because DeWanna herself is married to Alyssa Thomas, and they played together for years. DeWanna's take is basically, it works for us, so do what works for you. She and Alyssa have been playing together for 8 or 9 years, and they've figured out how to separate business from their relationship. That's admirable, that takes maturity and professionalism. But here's the problem with that answer. It doesn't work for everyone. And we've seen the evidence. Look at DeJounte Carrington and Alyssa Smith last season. DeJounte was on the Connecticut Sun attacking Caitlin Clark physically and verbally. Alyssa Smith was on the Indiana Fever and spent the entire season defending DeJounte on social media, liking posts that trashed her own teammate. That situation affected team chemistry. It created division. It became a distraction. And ultimately, the Fever had to move on from Alyssa Smith partly because of that dynamic. So yes, dating within the league can work, but it can also blow up spectacularly, especially when the relationship involves players on opposing teams or when personal drama spills into professional settings. DeWanna Bonner and Alyssa Thomas are the exception, not the rule. They've proven they can handle it. But for every success story like theirs, there's a messy situation waiting to happen. The bigger issue is what happens when these relationships end. Because they do end. Breakups happen. And when you're stuck on the same team or in the same league as your ex, playing against them multiple times a season, dealing with mutual friends and teammates who have to pick sides, that's when it becomes a problem. The WNBA is a small league. Only 12 teams, limited roster spots. You can't escape your ex the way you could in a bigger league or in a regular workplace. And let's be real about the Paige Bueckers and AZ Fudd situation specifically. They haven't even entered the league yet, and it's already a storyline. Paige is projected to go #1 overall to Dallas. AZ's draft stock has fallen due to injuries, but she'll still get picked. If they end up on different teams, that's fine. But what if one of them gets traded to the other's team down the line? What if they're competing for the same position, the same minutes, the same role? That's when personal relationships become professional complications. The WNBA needs to be careful about normalizing this without acknowledging the potential downsides. Yes, people should be free to date whoever they want. Yes, workplace relationships happen in every industry. But the WNBA is unique because it's so small, so interconnected, and so visible. When these relationships work, great. When they don't, it becomes a distraction that affects teams, fan bases, and the league's image. DeWanna Bonner's answer was diplomatic, but it also glossed over the very real issues we've seen play out. The league would be better served by having honest conversations about boundaries, professionalism, and what happens when personal drama intersects with professional responsibilities. Because right now, we're seeing more examples of it going wrong than going right. So where does this leave us heading into the season? Sophie Cunningham is motivated but potentially 1 year away from leaving. Raven Johnson is a rookie trying to find her role. Caitlin Clark is healthy and ready for an MVP campaign. The Fever are built to push pace and shoot threes, and the league is still figuring out how to handle the complicated dynamics of players dating within such a small, interconnected community. The contract situation with Sophie reveals a larger truth about the new WNBA economics. More money doesn't mean everyone gets rich. It means the market is more efficient at separating stars from role players. Sophie Cunningham is a good player, but she's not a star. $600,000 on a 1-year deal reflects that reality. She can either accept it and prove she deserves more, or she can stay bitter and let it affect her performance. Based on that interview, it seems like she's choosing the former, which is the right call. But mark my words, if the Fever don't win a championship this season, Sophie Cunningham will be playing somewhere else next year. And the Fever will have to decide whether they want to pay her what she thinks she's worth or let her walk and find another shooter. That's the business of basketball. That's the reality of the new CBA. And that's what every player in this league is learning right now. Your value is what someone is willing to pay, not what you think you deserve. So what do you think? Is Sophie Cunningham justified in being disappointed with $600,000? Should the Fever have given her more money or a longer deal? And what about the dating situation? Should the WNBA be concerned about players dating teammates, or is it a non-issue? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you made it this far, hit that like button and subscribe, because we're going to be covering every twist and turn of this Fever season. This team is either winning a championship or imploding spectacularly, and either way, it's going to be must-watch television.